We are live with Max. Max, be good. Maxwell, no leaving the chair. I got an eggy cone if you're a good bird. Yeah, I know, buddy. Just gonna make your cone. I'm gonna bring it over. Of course you had to climb up where I can't get to you. Way over here. Ooh. Oh, there you are. Yes, Max. Are you suggesting your trouble? So, Max, what would you like for breakfast? Would you like eggies in a cone? Want eggies in a cone? Here we go. Eggies in a cone. Let me put some paper up here, please. There we go. Because I don't enjoy cleaning. Here you go, buddy. Eggies in a cone. Did anybody hear Tico in the background? Ringing the bell? Order up. I think Tico wants some too. Is that good, Max? Oh yeah, you got the good stuff. Hi, Tico. Would you like some eggies in a cone too? Ring the bell. Ring the bell. Yay! You're so smart. There you go. Oh yeah. Eggies in a cone. Those are good. Aren't they, Max? Yeah? Yeah, Max, I agree. It's a great way to start the morning. I'll get coffee, you get eggies in a cup. Looks good, buddy? Just pulling up my second device over here. Oh, you dropped your cone. Can I grab your cone and then refill it? Do cones get refills? Hey, Max. Do cones get refills? Around here they sometimes do. Iggy's in a cone. You want to eat up there, huh? I want? You want? There you go. Iggy's in a cone. Well, hello, everybody. We have Greenbird and C Sharp, Tango Elliott, Sue, Doris, Pie Girl, Marco. Hi, Marco. It's great to see everybody joining us this morning. Yeah. So we are indoors. It's quite smoky outside. Once again, our weather forecast is two things, a smoke warning and a heat warning. It's actually kind of frustrating. Ain't that right, Max? Did you find the good stuff for breakfast? Oh, are you done that one already? Want me to try one more time and see if I can refill the cone again? I don't know about that. Refilling cones is tricky business. Yeah. We're down to the scrapings, Max. Not a lot of eggy left. Hey, Max. Be good, buddy. Be good. If you do want what's left, you gotta be good. Okay, climb up. Can you be really gentle with this? There's just little bits of eggy. Oh yeah, you know what that's all about. Charlot's joining us. KT Spirit. Linda's here. And I apologize if I missed any birdie. Tango has some wise words this morning. Tango says, I am the walrus, but Max is the Eggman. Oh, good to see every birdie. Yeah, Max is pretty happy about snacks right now. That's good. You're almost done that, Eggy. So, any chance, Max, that you might like a nanner? I've got a nanner. Nanner. Oh, would you like a nanner? On camera, yeah. There you go. Well, Max certainly turned his beak up at that nanner. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can sweeten the deal a little bit. You know, he'll eat this as soon as I put it inside of his cage. Hey, Max, be good. Maxwell, be good. You see I'm doing a little bit of cooking over here? Oh, you're doing some cleaning, thank you. Can you climb up again, please? Climb up. Good bird. Now, I have a nanner with sunny seeds. Yeah, just trying to tempt. And that is a big no. Now I've just put that down in his cage. And can anyone guess what's going to happen when he goes back to his cage after the stream? That's right. He's going to have his nanner and act as if, wow, how come you didn't tell me that there were bananas? Yeah, Max. Would you like a grape? Honestly, I think somebody's holding out for an egg. I have a grape for you. No, Max, I don't have a camera for you. Grape. Let's go here. Here we go. Grape. You sure you don't want a grape? Max, are you hungry? You had eggies, now there's grapes. Like a grape? And that as well is, of course I don't want a grape. Maxwell. Thank you. Right, grab this stuff. All right, put a toy down on it. Thank you. So Max, would it just be silly of me to go and try and find you something else to eat? You turned your beak up at banana and at grapes. And you've already eaten eggy. Oh, I think I know what you want. Move my hand. Okay. There you go. Okay, let's lower this. And let's shift in. A good view for everybody. Did you find a mod pod? Yeah, those are actually my pods that Einstein got you, Max. Those tasty? Oh goodness, more people keep joining us. Venus is here. Einstein. Yes, Greenbird, it was definitely the wrong shade of yellow, but it'll be perfectly fine when he goes back to his cage. He's just being a little bit picky right now. You know, bananas are quite touchy. They go from green to yellow so quickly, don't they, Max? Yes, you still have a toe. So Max is feeling restless. He's already chewed on the box, chewed on some wood, eaten an eggy, refused grapes, refused nanners. And we're going in for round 2. Oh, he's thrown newspaper as well. Taking a sneaky nibble of the chair. Don't think I'm not watching, Max. Maxwell. Yeah, you've got toys. The chair is not your toy. Max. Can you chew on the cardboard? Maxwell. Oh, I heard the word cardboard. I might have more cardboard for you. What's this? It's more cardboard. It's a different piece of cardboard. It might be better. Or it might be something to be avoided. Hey, I mispronounce anybody's name out there. If I do mispronounce, please let me know the correct pronunciation in the comments. Now you're going to be up there for a bit, okay? We'll adjust the camera. What do you think, Max? Max, did you have a good week? So I don't know who caught yesterday's video, but we did something a little bit different there. We did a stream of Max reading a book. So usually Tico's the one who really enjoys reading books. And if you've been here for a while, you also know what Tico's opinion is of cameras. And when my fingers get that close to a bird and I'm interacting with a book and a bird, I'm trying not to juggle a camera, especially if the camera means one of us is going to get chomped on. So, lately Max has been getting really, really jealous watching Tico read the book. So on Thursday night, I decided it was, maybe Max could have his first book. Or, well, not his first book, but a book first before Tico got his book. And I've been doing a bit of filming in the bathroom. It's sort of set up in there where we've got some interesting angles. I was playing around with the mirror, had the tripod set up, and I brought out the book and I started reading. When I was reading him the book, I actually totally forgot that we were filming. And, you actually saw how I usually interact with Max in a book. Was not even aware that I was filming at the time. I realized that later on. And when I went to post it, I was thinking, maybe I'll post a clip of it. Maybe people would like to see a little bit more of what happens when Max reads a book. Because everybody knows Max has the attention span of a gnat. And I looked at clipping it and I thought, no, I'm going to let this video run through the entire timeline, no cuts, no edits, and just run straight through. So that's a little bit of a different style for us. And so it's a bit of a slower video. But you could see that Max was interacting with the book. He was thinking about it. He was looking at pictures. He was making choices to decide when he wanted to beat the book, when he didn't want to. And he's pretty good about finding the photos in the book and identifying them when he's asked to identify them. Yeah, he didn't want to touch all of the stars, but he touched many of them, and he touched the mouse, and we had a discussion about mouse versus mice. And, Max did seem to get into it. He was sort of like a little bit of a toddler. Some nights he gets super, super excited by a book. Other nights he just wants to chill and relax and listen to me read. Tico sometimes will have me read things like technical manuals to him. Tico's not as fussed about the pictures. Sometimes Tico just wants, me talking to him and telling him about the book and asking him if he has some opinions. But Max definitely is about the pictures. So that was sort of a stream of this is what happens when I read Max a book. So hopefully you enjoyed that. It's gotten a lot of good views. Glad to hear, Sue. Glad to hear. So Sue says she rewatched it and helped her sleep. Great to hear. Great to hear. Yeah. So is that something you want to see again in the future, that reading Max a book? It is a little bit different than some of our other videos. But if it's something you want to see in the future, I do have some other books here I can read to Max for you. I did have Lucy ask that next time I do books, there were a few suggestions as well. We could call it balking with books. Forget who commented that. But Lucy had a really, really good suggestion. She said, hey, next time you're reading Mac's book, can you show us the pictures too? I said I wasn't quite realizing that I was taping the entire thing, so I didn't set out to capture it for the video. But I think that's a good idea. I understand that Lucy enjoyed reading along in the book with Max and looking at things. I also had a question. Somebody said, hey, when Max is touching stuff with his beak, it looks like he's licking it. Very, very astute. Max actually does touch, not just with his beak, but with his tongue. And the reason for that is he's learned how to touch a phone, an app on the phone. And when he touches a phone screen, if he touches it with his beak, thanks for trying, it's not going to work. But if he touches it with his tongue is much more similar to a human finger. Remember, bird tongues are only wet if they've just been eating something. Otherwise, they're dry. And honestly, they feel a little bit like a finger. They're muscular, and the bird has a lot of control with them. So that's why he looked like he was just reaching out and deliberately touching the book with his tongue, because he was. I still refer to it as can you touch, can you beak? It's a part of his anatomy, and it's just sort of reminding him what he wants to do. But yeah, so that was kind of fun reading the book with Max. Oh, Max, it looks like you got Napster happening there. You're gonna sit quietly for a bit? That's okay. We can sit quietly. I have a cup of coffee here. No, we don't. Back up there, mister. Back up, mister. Max, we're not going to be climbing underneath there. Maxwell, come on. Come on. Come. Come. Oops. All right, I'm going to have to collapse the tripod to show you what Mister is doing. Oopsies. 1, 2, sorry about this, guys. 3. 1 more. There, go. And it would probably help if I lifted that up a little bit more. So Max went down. There we go. It's not the best tripod balance, but you can see what he's doing. He dropped his mahogany pod, and went down after it. And right now, he's in a spot which is kind of awkward for me to reach. And rather than fight a little war with him about not being there, I try not to fight wars when I think that there's a possibility that the bird might win. And if I went after him right now, he'd probably play around the legs and hide behind, and I have to move the chair. And since he's doing no harm, I'll let him down there for a bit. Now, I am keeping a close eye on things like baseboards. So he's underneath the chair right now. Thinks it's a good spot to play. Get scooch in a little bit further. There. You know, I can never predict what's going to happen on a stream. And Max does have his own ideas. Yes, Greenbird. Greenbird beat me to it, saying Max has his own ideas. Absolutely. Now around here, Max is only allowed on the floor when he is supervised. Reason for that, he has a fascination with baseboards. Baseboards are good. Baseboards last approximately 1.2 seconds around Max's beat. Now we're going to shred a bit of paper. Max, do you realize there's Mod Podge on top of the chair as well? Did you trip? Yeah, you meant to do that. So the reason the paper's down on the floor is to make it easy to clean up. It also sort of intrudes all corners of the chair, because when Max starts pooping and tossing stuff, it lands everywhere. So what I'll do after stream is I will clean up any of the toys that Max set up and set them where they're supposed to be. And then anything like shredded small bits of wood that are no longer usable, you know, some small bits will probably get put in his cage because he likes to nibble the small bits after he's destroyed big bits. And you can see right now he is playing with the smaller bits of the mahogany pod. But anything small, poop, food detritus, etc., I just roll up the paper and get rid of it that way. Keeps the floor clean and reduces the amount of cleaning I have to do. He can make a big mess in very short order. Did you get some more mahogany pod, buddy? Yeah, Doris, we miss Linus as well. Oh, funny Tango. Nice trip, Max. See you next fall. Yeah. No, Max tripped over the paper. He was standing on it when come on, we all trip over our own 2 feet. You know, it's a parrot thing to do. Yeah, one of the favorite places that Max has to play in his cage is the bottom of his cage. And I line the bottom of his cage with newspaper. Can anybody venture just a wild guess what he does with newspaper at the bottom of his cage? There's a little bit of a hint. He is doing it right now. There's some better light under there, bud. Underneath a piece of newspaper and hide. Yeah, you can see what he's getting into under there. He's chewing on some wood. And when he's on the bottom of his cage playing with wood and whatnot, Sometimes he's rubbing the wood against the bottom bars of his cage. Sometimes he tucks it through and pulls it up, makes a bit of a twanging sound. He has all sorts of games he plays on the bottom of his cage. But it all seems predicated on hiding and just being a bit of, you know, I think it's all nesting type of play. And there's some foraging that happens. You'll notice on the ground, he's going after the smaller bits of wood and reducing them to smaller toothpicks. How often do you see him do that on top of his chair? Usually on top of his chair, he makes the bigger pieces and tosses them down for later. So it is a different style of play when he is on the ground. The other thing Max does when he's playing at the bottom of his cage, he, you know, apart from dipping his head underneath the paper and playing hide, he'll back himself right into the corner and stick his tail feathers out the back of the cage, which is why sometimes his tail feathers look a little bit ratty. He has 3 feet of cage in front of him, but no, he has to fit himself in the back tiniest corner that he possibly can, because this is a fun place to shred paper and shred newspaper. You know, Max playing on the floor today I think was a good idea. It gives people a different look. Hi Tico, you already have got a grade. Oops. You gonna be good, Max? Tico, I know. Tico, do you want nanner? Is that what you're asking for? Oh yeah. Leave the fingers. You're welcome. So in the background, if you missed it, you might have to go back for it. But did you hear the sound that Tico made after I gave him the banana? It's sort of almost a dripping wow. That's a sound for you gave me something I like. Not quite sure if it goes far enough to be a thank you, but it's definitely a, yeah, I happen to like whatever you gave me, and this is great fun. Be a bit lower. A little bit lower. Yeah, summer's a little bit different for people joining us. It's, you know, I think summertime people get a little bit busier. There's different things on the go. Please won't go any further down, guys. Let's go a little further back then. just adjusted the lighting a little bit. I pulled the ring light back much, much further. The stand it's on does not go all the way down to the ground. It's meant to be a standing light. I've got it pointed down and I've got it turned up to maximum brightness. But at least it's doing a good job of illuminating the shadows under the chairs. If I turned off the light, it would be pretty dark down there. Yeah, he does look a little bit tiny. Step. I'm going to screw up the light for a minute. Sorry, guys. Here. Oops, hang on. There. Not better? Eee. Oh, glad to hear it's a good shot, Tango. Yeah, Max actually loves to play on the ground in the bottom of his cage, so he's seeing this one as similar. If I move the chair, he'd get a little bit upset with me because the concept for him is under. He does like to be underneath something. Come in and mess with this one more minute. Sorry, Max. Oh. Tipping over the tripod here. There. Okay. Come on, out again. My tripod doesn't go quite far enough down, so I've got it angled. It doesn't tilt, the head does not tilt further down, so I've got the legs angled, so it's not the most stable right now. If Max walks into it, there will be a thumping sound. You can see how Max is all about the little tiny bits of toothpick down there. So when I clean Max's cage, the first thing he does, even if I put paper underneath the bars, he pulls it up. I gave up years ago and started putting his newspaper on top of his bars because he insists on doing this. And what he'll do is he'll shred paper, and that shredded paper will end up tucked behind the cage, tucked underneath the cage, and tucked underneath the grate and underneath the bars. And the back of the cage, he keeps his shredded paper relatively clean. He tends to poop at the front of the cage. He tends to sometimes put some full bits of paper that he'll poop on at the front of the cage. He's not going to chew on them. That's for me to remove. He'll drop wet food on that paper. Occasionally, he'll bring paper out to the front and try and stuff it out the front of the cage if it's dirty. Very helpful that way. But his idea is his nest is a clean space. It's a messy space, but it is not a dirty space. And I think that's a distinction that sometimes we struggle with. When I see a mess, my first thought is that needs to be cleaned up. But for Max, he gets upset when I clean up his shredded paper. As you can see, he's working hard on it, but within an hour, he'll have his cage looking very much the same as it looked before I cleaned it. So I just concentrate on removing any food that could rot, any poops, any biomasses, etc. And I let him have a bit of autonomy over what he wants to do with his cage. And in most cases, he wants his shredded paper down there. He wants to make a nest, he wants to show his buddy Q that indeed he is a very, very good bird. And he'd make a wonderful mate. Just look at that nest. And you know, it does no harm. It really does no harm. And if this is Max's chosen hobby, the worst things he can do. When he's shredding, he's usually pretty quiet. He's happy. You know, this is great. So Max, I wonder if your friend Q knows that she's got some competition. Stella and Quentin are looking at you, aren't they? Yeah. You got some new bird friends. Some new internet bird friends. And as you can see, Max, he's deliberately going underneath that paper. That is where he wants to be. Sorry, Katie, I'm standing a little bit further away from the camera right now. Linda, shredding paper, cardboard, etc. tends to be a bit of a nesting game, I think. For Tico, sometimes he shreds some paper just so he can clean his beak with it. But for Max, I think it is purely nesting. Thank you, Kirsten Ann. Yeah, the green block needs some chewing. You know, he's deliberately ignoring that green block right now. Max wants more newspaper. Well, you know what Max probably wants right now? Let's go over here. Gonna get in the way of the light. How about a fresh block, Max? That is fun. That is fun, buddy. So stage one, top level shred of the wood. Now, when I first started buying Max wood blocks, I did the math and I thought, ooh, those wood blocks are really expensive and they don't last long. But watch what happens next to the wood block. The big pieces get chucked into smaller pieces, and he'll sit and play with those smaller pieces for hours. And it's a lot cheaper than taking him to the vet for a beak trim. He does not go through an entire box of blocks in a day. He gets a few blocks. He's quite happy with that number. Give him too many blocks, he starts to ignore them. But it's definitely all about the art of the shred. Isn't that right, Max? Ooh. Angle on that. There. Pie Girl, Max is not especially hormonal right now. He will nest and play with his blocks day in and day out. I mean, for him, it does not seem to matter if he wants to mate with my arm or not. It's always a good time to play with blocks. Good. And shredding paper, I mean, it's also year round. Doris, I can't notice that sneak over towards the door, and I just got quiet, and Max knew I was watching him. You'd be amazed how quickly I can leap over there if he's about to beat something he's not supposed to. I have had Max scream right into my ear before, about 2 inches away, and my ear has literally just rung for hours. Not a pleasant experience. So I try to discourage that. Are you having fun? Yeah, Max, you're having fun. I'm gonna switch over here for a minute. Tango, I don't think you can get quite the same volume that Max can. But certainly barking in the ear is never pleasant. Greenbird, so glad that you're relaxed right now. Well, Venus, you know, Max is very much a toddler. He's exploring the world. He keeps trying his boundaries. He has some ideas on what he wants. Yeah, but honestly, you know, a big box of blocks like I purchased, they've been going up in price with the price of lumber. You know, $60, $70 for a big box, but it lasts for a few months, and it is actually a lot cheaper than the hanging toys. Max does not like playing with hanging toys at all, but he will play with blocks, so I'll give him what he likes. Tico has hanging toys. He likes his bells. He likes some things he can sort of play around and jangle around, but even blocks hanging, he'll ignore them for the most part. If I hang some of the birdie bagels, he'll chew at those, but if I give him a block that can be held independently, he'll shred that and he'll play with that. So honestly, blocks and foot toys are a better option for the flock. Tango, I'm not hearing a low tone going off. I think, Tango, maybe your Uman was barking in your ear. Notice how Max finds paper and wood to make composite toys. Tango, are you chasing cars again? Tango might be the expert on rental cars. You know, I really love the comment section. It makes me laugh. Max, what are you thinking about? Yeah, playing on the floor was definitely not what I had in mind for today's stream. But you never know with the flock. They have their own ideas about what they want to do, how they want to play. You know, if I decide I'm reading Max a book, he does not want the book, you know what? He's not getting the book. He's very much the master of his own domain. That's me in the background. So Max decided of his own that he wanted to climb back up. Oh, go poop, buddy. Go poop. Okay, I'm just going to reset the camera here because the tripod was set for slam down onto the ground. Oops. Oh, I missed a leg. Uh-oh. That's a piece of the tripod, buddy. Excuse me. Max just noticed I lost a piece of tripod. There we go. Okay, tripod has been rebuilt. Hey, Max! You're such a good bird. You are such a good bird. How about I build you a stack of cups? Stack of cups? Stack of cups and toys? How about another stack of cups? I'm sure that this will take at least 10 minutes for you to disassemble, bud. There's two more. And let's fix that lighting a little bit. There you go, Max. Looking oh so much better. And stay up. what do you want to play with next? Would you like one of these? Would you like a block? Would you like Okay, we're done with the bell or the ball. And with Max, I mean, it's a new toy every 20 seconds. So, yeah, Sue, how is your place? Are they making any headway on rebuilding the wall yet? Oh dear. Yeah, Sue, come on over. Max can screech with the best of them. Yeah, a Moluccan can outscream a 747 on takeoff. And Max is very good at practicing that. Oh, Tango. I forgot about Karen. Should I bring out Karen? What do you think? If you want Karen, tell me in the comments. If you want Karen Koala, tell me in the comments. Tico sounds like he might want Karen. Pie Girl is voting for Karen. Can you bark, bark, bark? Oops. Here we go. Let's get a slightly better shot here. Here's Karen. Hi, Max. I missed you. Max is looking a lot more relaxed around Karen now. What do you think, Max? Can you bark, 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 bark? Bark, bark, bark. Okay, I'll put Karen away. Tango, you knew Karen had to come out for a quick visit. Yeah, Max, your friend Einstein has Hominy and Maisie. Are you happy with just having Karen? Maybe Tango can advise on that. Oh, Tango. Yeah, I don't think Karen would last long around Tango. But Tango, I mean, I saw what you did to Lamb Chop. How could you? Lamb Chop was an innocent. Eric says the flying turtle is back, Max. Yeah, oh, Max is looking at me. Max does not like the turtles. I laugh every time I stop at Pisces and show Max the turtles, because as soon as the turtle swims towards him, he just gets this look on his face, climbs up my arm, and tries to exit on the other side of my shoulder. It's like, nope, 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 nope. It's green, and it's looking at me. I don't know if Max fully understands that there's glass on the aquarium between him and the turtle, and there's no way that I could even touch the turtle if I wanted to. He's enclosed. Yeah. Linus, I think you should get a Karen. Oh, Tango, you thought about Karen long before we did? Why didn't you remind us? Tango says, okay, if you get another one, I'm going to get a dog and make its name Tango. Yes, Eric, Max does not like his turtles. It is kind of funny. I mean, Max is going to be Max. He's going to have his likes and his dislikes just like the rest of us. Some people are scared of clowns. Max is scared of turtles. Yes, so we had so much fun at visiting Pisces. It had been, a year and a half since we'd been. Max immediately led me in, found Kyle, and said, "This is my friend Kyle. I need to go visit him." Max is not bothered at all that Kyle is in the snake and reptile department. That's actually the department that Kyle at Pisces manages, but Kyle is definitely a large bird person. Kyle loves animals, and Max definitely understands it. Linus off of Amazon. If you message me later, I can give you some of the links and show you where I found the better price. Because absolutely, you always have to save when you buy talking koala. Yeah, Sue, that was so much fun. But you can definitely see how Max interacts with different people. When Max was hanging out with Lori, he just kind of chilled out on her arm, listened to her voice, and said, "Hey, you're wearing one of those weird face things like my woman has." And, he was quite happy. He'd actually seen, Max had seen Lori once during the pandemic. We had won a few things off of the Calgary Parrot Club auction, and Lori picked up her own and dropped off to us. She was just going to do a front door drop, but she messaged me. So I tossed the leash on Max so fast his head spun and ran outside. So Max did get a chance to see Lori, and he just loved it. He's going, I see people, but with COVID, we were still distancing and being extra cautious. Yeah, so given what's happening in Alberta, we're the first place in the world where we are removing the requirement to isolate if you test positive. We're also removing the requirements the ability to test if you have a close contact with COVID, you don't have to tell them. If you are symptomatic, you only get tested now starting on the 15th. If it's necessary for the treatment, and it's, we're just lifting all of the guides, despite the fact that we do have a growing number of COVID cases. Max does not understand it because I said, hey, buddy, it might be a while before we get back to Pisces to visit Kyle again. Max was hoping to get back to his regular meetups, but, it's going to be what it's going to be. It's important just to keep safe. For those of you who are not aware, my dad turned 85 a couple of months ago. Mom's the same age. So they are definitely older and they are still living independently. I'm an only child, so I tend to be one of their support people and I do have to go over there semi-regularly. So I'm extra cautious about COVID, mostly because I don't think I would forgive myself if I thought I was the source of infection that killed my parents. And given their age and everything else, if they catch COVID, they may not have a good outcome. So I'm just being extra cautious. So that's why we may be delaying going back to visits and whatnot. Yeah, so it's definitely some concerns with how quickly things are moving. But, it's the way it is. It's the way it is. Oh yeah, Greenbird, it really is a lot of fun watching how Max interacts with different people. And he acts differently in different situations. Remember a couple of weeks ago when we had the live stream, we started indoors and then we moved to outdoors on the patio. We moved from the chair. You saw me put the leash on Max. Then we walked outside and all of a sudden we had a balking bird who was looking around and acting very, very different. It's almost as if the sun hits him and he's a slightly different personality. It is definitely interesting to watch, how Max interacts in different situations. But, he's pretty happy. Right now it's looking like it's time for a nap. He's made a big mess for me to clean up. So really, really appreciate that, Max. Yeah, we appreciate that, buddy. Always love cleaning. We got little tiny splinters of wood everywhere around this house with Max and Tico, the wood chippers. You don't walk around the main floor of this house without wearing slippers or at the very least socks. Hey, Max, you coming in for your close-up? There's your close-up, buddy. Oh, scritch time. So I want to wish everybody a safe and healthy week. There we go. Go to handheld here for a minute. Yeah, I think Max is time here for a scritchy. Yeah, Miss Linus, I will do another story time video. I don't guarantee when, but I'll do one in the next couple of weeks. Depends on the mood of Max. And I'll try and, oops, I'm sorry, Max. I know, I heard that too. Blocks of wood flying. Yeah, oops. Here. I'm tripping over everything over here, Max. You got toys on the floor. You need to clean up your toys. Okay, Max, can you stand up and give everybody a close-up? All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for all your support on all of the socials. So reminder, we are on Facebeak, we are on Twitter, we are on YouTube. If you are following us on Facebeak, I'm going to ask you for a favor. If you haven't done so already, would you mind just hopping in and writing us a quick review? Just let everybody know what you think about Max. Is he worth 5 stars? Does he brighten your day? Go for it. We are trying to grow that social media channel a little bit as well. just so we can help share some of the joy of Max a little bit further out. But if you are on Facebook, we definitely appreciate that. And of course, as usual, beat that share button, watch all of our videos, and keep smiling. Right, Max? All right, everybody. Buck, buck. Have a wonderful day.